What you just saw is the true power of dual-wielding lightning build. And without wasting too much of your time, I'm going to show you everything about it. One thing to keep in mind is that the current build I have is based on what I was able to find and unlock, which leaves a little bit of room for improvement with better Abyss gears. But I was able to complete the whole main story and defeat every boss without any problems. To make it work, you will need a few things. Grab any two one-handed swords that when refined to 4 will give 18 attack and level 1 attack speed. It doesn't matter which, as they all have almost identical stats. I'm using Melted Ambition and Golden Sword for aesthetic purposes. Armor pieces also don't really matter, just get something that has high stats and unlockable sockets. Again, I went with the golden set for aesthetics. The same thing applies for accessories, as the specific gear item doesn't really matter as long as you refine them all to 4 first and they all give you as much attack as you can get. The real power comes from Lightning Imbue and Abyss gear. To get the Lightning Imbue, I would recommend watching a guide because it does require you to complete 3 different back-to-back Abyss Island puzzles, which are time consuming and are a bit on a harder side. To unlock Abyss gear, you will need to finish chapter 4 to unlock the witch located right here. The witch will allow you to open sockets, extract, embed and craft Abyss gear. When it comes to Abyss gear, after testing several different ones, I couldn't really find any relevant difference in damage, so correct me if I'm wrong here. You will need 4 different types of Abyss gear that have activation based on which skills you are using. Because I know that there are multiple different ones that get activated by a specific skill use, it kinda doesn't matter which ones you grab. You will need one that activates when you are using heavy attacks. I am using Crow's Pursuit. You will also need one that activates when using stab skill. I have Crow Storm. You will need one that activates when using Turning Slash. I'm using Wound of Darkness. And most importantly, you will need plus 35% Turning Slash damage. You can find it in a treasure chest in the Sanctum of Benediction embedded on a Fallen Kingdom helmet. Other Abyss gear can be defense, attack, speed, critical and attack, and put them wherever you have empty sockets. When it comes to the skill build, the real power comes from spending Spirit, imbued with lightning. Depending on your skill points, using 5 to 7 in stamina, 3 to 5 in health, and 5 to 7 in spirit. Then there are several important skills you need to unlock and max out. First, max out Turning Slash, as this will allow you to ignore bosses' super armor, which means you can interrupt and knockback them. Then max out Forward Slash, which is the second highest damage dealing skill. Then max out Stab, which is used for closing distance and interrupting bosses, as it also ignores the super armor, but it is also used for initiating. And lastly, put 1 point into Blinding Flash Finisher. On the red side, after unlocking Lightning Imbue, learn Imbue Element and select Elemental Turning Slash. On the green side, max out Keen Sense, which will allow you to parry, and max out Focus, which will allow you to regen spirit, slow down time, which gives you time to dodge, heal and parry. After that, you can use skill points however you want for some utility and mobility skills. This build does not have a high burst, but it is more focused on filling up a stagger bar while dealing decent damage and using fast, sustained damage over short periods of time due to high attack speed. Since every boss is different with different attacks and patterns, I'm going to show you one main combo that works on every single boss. Here's the full main combo and then I will break it down. You will always want to start boss fights with full spirit, and make sure that lightning imbue is selected right here. The combo always begins with a stab or with a successful parry, after which you will follow up with turning slash, but don't forget to press a key mid turning slash animation to imbue it with lightning, otherwise the attack won't use lightning. This will significantly fill up the stagger bar, knock back the boss, which then you will follow up with holding down the heavy attack button for a full duration until this final attack animation. Keep in mind that heavy attack uses stamina, not spirit, so be wary of that. After, you will just press the light attack button while holding a heavy attack, which will seamlessly transition you into turning slash. Then go into focus mode for 1 to 2 seconds, as the boss will likely get back on its feet and try to attack you. While you are in focus mode, spam your parry button in case the boss does a fast attack. If not, straight from inside the focus mode, you can go into blinding flash and then into blinding flash finisher. And if there is time, you have just enough spirit for one final lightning turning slash. After all of that, spam dodge roll backwards to get a safe distance and go into focus mode to regenerate spirit. Use dodge roll to avoid attacks that can't be parried and just patiently regen spirit and wait for your turn. If the boss gives you a free parry while in a focus mode, capitalize on it by doing half a combo depending on your spirit. Eventually you will fill up the stagger bar and the boss will be stunned. If you have a full stamina bar, just hold a heavy attack for the whole duration, as it deals more damage than doing the finisher animation, which is kinda slow. If you are low on stamina, then you can use the finisher. And if you don't want to sit in a focus mode for a long time, use food that gives you spirit. This build is more technical and more harder to pull off, which I really like compared to some of the one button spam builds. This one requires actual combo, which makes the gameplay more fun and more rewarding once you learn all of the combos. But when it comes to skill keybinds on controller, I use the names of the skills so you can check for yourself which buttons you use on controller, because I play on mouse and keyboard. And if you wanted to know exact locations for the weapons, armor and abyss gear, please watch other guides. There are many of them out there because I use them as well to find everything I needed. Let me know in the comments how you are liking this build. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Power breathes life into potential.